Hey, thanks for watching us tonight. Brutalizing America. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. A new low has been reached in the media, attacks on the USA. Take a good look at this cartoon, which the New York Times printed yesterday. It shows the Statue of Liberty holding a whip, ready to strike. Just look at this atrocity and tell me that newspaper is a fair media outlet. The two men responsible are Times publisher Arthur Sulzberger Jr. and editor Bill Keller. These guys are on a jihad to define America as a gulag nation, a country that tortured helpless captives. Times is aided and abetted by General Electric CEO Jeffrey Immelt and NBC boss Jeff Zucker, who allow their commentators to push a hateful far-left agenda. Finally, ACLU leader Anthony Romero and far-left billionaire George Soros are pouring money and legal challenges into telling the world that America is indeed a nation that abuses human rights. These six men are doing an enormous amount of damage to this country. But why? What is the real goal here? A liberal president's now in the White House, and Barack Obama has already reversed many of the Bush anti-terror policies. So why are these guys continuing to whip their own country when they know the alleged torture stuff is harming our image all over the world? Well, the reason is quite simple. If show trials for the Bush administration happen, they will marginalize the Republican Party, national security hawks, and conservative thinkers for decades. It doesn't matter how the trials turn out. If they even take place, the far left gets a big win. And it's getting worse. The Obama administration will soon release photographs of military investigations into prisoner abuse. The pictures were taken in order to gather evidence in criminal cases against Americans. But that's not how the photos will be spun. The ACLU, which sued to get the pictures released, wants to inflame the world against the USA. That, of course, will put our troops and diplomats in even more danger and make it harder for the Obama administration to get cooperation from other countries. Does the president understand that? Right now, few in the media are rebutting the scandalous charge that America is a torture nation, even though the facts say it's bull. The following men are on record as saying the tough interrogation methods save lives and were done responsibly in the context of a direct attack on the United States. Former CIA directors George Tenet, Michael Hayden, and Porter Goss, former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, and President Obama's own Director of National Intelligence, Dennis Blair. On the other side, FBI Director Robert Mueller dissents, saying no worthy intel was gleaned, but Mueller is obviously vastly outnumbered, so President Obama is making the correct decision by not pursuing investigations. It's bad enough the world has to see this kind of garbage, and I hope some reporter asks the president about it in his press conference on Wednesday. Yeah, we have a free press in America, but right now it is absolutely appalling, and all of us should hold these America haters accountable. That's the memo. Now for the top story tonight. For the past couple of years, I have criticized President Bush for not confronting the irresponsible media, which continues to viciously attack him.
You don't take it personally?
No, I don't.
Because they are trying to destroy you. You know that.
Well, it's too bad. And I think most Americans don't want to see the president destroyed. I think most Americans want this country to come together and work for the common good. I suspect a lot of Americans are sick and tired of Washington politics.
Joining us now from Washington with reaction, former Bush advisor and current Fox News analyst Karl Rove. All right, let's take my criticism of President Bush. You were out of there, I guess, almost at the time I started criticizing President Bush for not going after his critics, and now the critics are running wild. So wasn't I right?
Well, it's funny you should mention this. I literally today was working on a book that's coming out on Simon & Schuster, and I'm writing about this very issue. And I do think in retrospect there are moments when we should have defended more fervently the administration's policies and gone specifically after our critics. This, however, torture and enhanced interrogation is not one of them, because the administration did a good job of rebutting the charges of torture and keeping the enhanced interrogation techniques in place. We fought back amendments in Congress in 2005, 2006, 2007. It took a new president who unilaterally removed the legal authority and ended these enhanced interrogation techniques. The Bush administration did a pretty good job of defending them through January 20th of this year.
Okay, but the six men that I mentioned were never mentioned by your administration, and they are doing an enormous amount of damage to the country. Would you admit that they are doing damage to the country?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think there has been a concerted effort by many on the left in order to change the fundamental fabric of America, and they see this as an opportunity to further that goal. And I don't say they're unpatriotic. They just have a different definition of what they want America to be.
They're not unpatriotic. When you're going to have pictures being released in the next few days of criminal investigations into wrongdoing by Americans, which happened, and they're going to flood all over the world. Well, who's going to be in danger there? That's going to heighten the danger for every American troop overseas, every American diplomat, and every American tourist. And you're saying these men aren't unpatriotic, Mr. Rove?
I'm not saying they're not doing this because they're unpatriotic. They're doing this because they want to achieve a goal for America that I fundamentally disagree with. You talk about putting people in danger. The President of the United States, Barack Obama, already put American military in danger by ending these enhanced interrogation techniques and limiting everybody, including the CIA, to the techniques in the Army Field Manual, which generally consist of, will you give me your name, address, telephone number, and would you like 2 sugars or 1 and with your coffee? That's the limit of what we're doing. So we've already got a president. So I don't say that he's unpatriotic. I say he is mistaken. He has made a huge error. He is putting American lives at risk. And these other men that you talked about, you're right. They're joining with him in doing that.
No. There's a difference. There's a difference. Look, you can debate President Obama's policy. He believes that by doing all of this, ending all of your policies, that the world will like us better and more cooperative with us. You can debate that. I agree with you. I don't think it. I think it heightens the danger, but it's theoretical. The other thing isn't theoretical, Mr. Rove. When you see those pictures on the front page of the New York Times and leading the newscasts on NBC, whether it's tomorrow or a week from today, the whole world is going to go, look at America. Look how bad they are. This is criminal activity that took place. You could use a picture from any criminal investigation. You could use a picture of these kids getting killed by their parents and whip it around the country, the world, and say, look at this. It's the same thing. The ACLU knows how this is going to be used by the jihadists and people who hate us. They know. They don't care. So there's a difference between Obama and his policy and these people actively putting our troops in danger. There's a difference.
I'm not certain I agree with you that there's a difference, because President Obama, part of the reason that he ended the enhanced interrogation techniques, read his statement. He says this is going to improve our image around the world. He thought that this would somehow make us look better. And in reality, what it did was it confirmed, at least in the Islamic world, America understands that it was doing the wrong thing, and America is a bad country. It ended up in the same place. Now, I think let's not get stuck there, because I think we're both in agreement, whether it was President Obama ending the enhanced interrogation techniques or the ACLU and all the rest of these people pushing for the release of these photographs that were, as you pointed out, for a criminal investigation in order to charge U.S. military personnel with violating the law.
In order to do the right thing, they were taken
in order to do the right thing.
And now they're going to be used against us.
In either instance, these people are doing the wrong thing for America. They are doing the wrong thing for our country. They're doing the wrong thing for our men and women in uniform, and they're making us less safe.
But the only media challenging them on a national level are the Wall Street Journal and the Fox News Channel. That's it. The rest of the media sympathize with these people, which is why there isn't an outcry. What did you think when you saw that cartoon in the New York Times yesterday of the Statue of Liberty with a whip? What did you think of that?
I thought Pinch Sulzberger was right to worry about why he had to sell his building and his stock is in the toilet. And I'm glad it is.
But weren't you offended as an American of that?
Oh, sure I was.
I mean,
absolutely.
That is just the
absolutely.
lowest.
Look. I'm from Texas. I mean, you take a New York liberal. I met this guy, a little Pinch Sulzberger. He is an elitist, effete snob who thinks he knows better than the rest of America and has views that are distinctly outside the mainstream of what America is all about. He probably thought that was a damn fine cartoon to be running and was proud of it. I thought it was in keeping with the editorial policy of the New York Times, which is despicably to the left of American politics and out of touch with American values.
All right. Mr. Rove, thanks very much. We appreciate it. Next on the Rundown, Juan and Mary Catherine will respond.